Winter, 1990. I was driving an old Volga, heading from Khabarovsk to Moscow. The road stretched endlessly through dense forests crowned with snow. Outside, a blizzard was raging, snow whirls blinding me and forcing me to peer into the narrow tunnel of light from the headlights. The fog heightened the sense of entrapment, as if I was caught in a snare where reality grew more elusive with every kilometer. I was alone, exhausted, tired, and sleepy. The clock read almost 1 a.m. Time seemed to stretch, turning into a viscous mass. The road was deserted, no oncoming or passing cars. Only the whisper of tires on snow and the howling wind accompanied me. My goal, the nearest settlement, felt distant and unattainable, and then a figure. In the headlights I saw a woman. She stood on the roadside, almost in the center of the road, dressed in a long dress that was clearly unsuitable for such weather. Her hair fluttered in the wind, and it seemed like she didn't feel the cold at all. I slammed on the brakes, feeling the wheels momentarily lose traction. My heart pounded harder, thudding in my chest. "Damn," I muttered, squinting, trying to get a better look at the figure. I rolled down the window slightly and shouted, "Hey, do you need help? What are you doing out here in this weather?" She slowly turned her head. Her face was pale, almost deathly white, and her eyes were deep, black voids with neither pupils nor whites. I felt a chill run down my spine, but chalked it up to exhaustion and imagination. "Are you okay?" I repeated louder, trying to keep calm. She stepped closer. At that moment, the headlights illuminated something that made my breath catch. Instead of feet, she had hooves. Huge, black, as if charred. Her arms were strangely bent, and her fingers ended in long, sharp claws. The dress fluttered in the wind, but didn't hide her horrifying appearance. I instinctively jerked my hand, locking the door, and slammed the gas pedal to the floor. The car roared. The wheels spun on the ice for a moment, then gripped the road, and I sped off. In the rearview mirror, I saw her standing, bent over, and then she started running. No, not running. Flying. She moved incredibly fast, as if not touching the ground, her claws tearing through the air, and a wild, inhuman screech escaped her throat. "Stop! You won't escape!" I pressed the gas harder. The speed climbed to 80 km/h, but it felt insufficient. The nearest settlement was about 40 kilometers away. I kept repeating to myself that I had to survive, had to make it there. The creature struck the rear window. It clung to the trunk, its claws leaving deep scratches. I glanced in the mirror. Her face was now completely distorted. Sharp fangs protruded from her mouth, her skin looked burned, and her eyes burned with wild hatred. My old Volga shook, emitting a deep growl from the engine, but I didn't ease off the gas. Every second felt like an eternity. I prayed there would be enough road, that this monster wouldn't get a final grip on me. And then, light. In the distance, I saw the glimmer of lights. I realized it was a settlement. Summoning every ounce of strength, I focused on keeping the car steady. The creature struck the glass again, but the moment I crossed into the settlement's boundary, it vanished, as if it had dissolved into the air. I braked near the first house, stumbling out of the car, shaking from exhaustion and fear, and knocked on the door. An old man with a gray beard and tired eyes opened it. "You came from the forest?" he asked, looking me over. "Yes," I exhaled. There was something. It tried to kill me." The old man frowned, then quietly said, "You met a Djinn. They dwell in those woods, ancient spirits that feed on fear and the flesh of the lost. Consider yourself lucky if you manage to escape." I couldn't find the words to respond. I was trembling, and her scream still echoed in my head. The old man let me in, gave me hot tea and an old tattered blanket. I stayed there until dawn, and the next morning, as soon as it got light, I hurried on my way. That road remained etched in my memory forever. Sometimes, when I close my eyes, I see the black figure with claws and hooves in the headlights, hear her wail, and feel the icy chill piercing my bones. People say jinns are just legends, but I know they exist, and if you ever find yourself driving through a winter forest at night, it's better not to stop. Ever.